I've been subscribed to Owlcrate since December of 2017. Unfortunately, I didn't start filming my unboxings until July of 2018. Over the years, I've received quite a few books. Some I've read, some I haven't. Some I've loved, others not so much. For the next 6 months, I will make my way through these books. Welcome to the TBR Veterans Project, Owlcrate Edition. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Haley and you're watching Between the Pages. It is time to pick the 6 books. We're doing 6 for this one, so that's the penultimate episode. We have now reached the end of the original timeline for Owlcrate TBR Veterans. It was supposed to be a 6-month long process and it ended up being almost about a year because a few episodes were delayed and postponed and stuff, just because reading a lot of these books have put me in a slump because I haven't loved a lot of them. And I don't know if it's just because my reading tastes have changed and I would have liked them back when I read them, when I was like a more younger booktuber. But yeah, so we're going to pick the final 6 for this reading vlog episode. And I am kind of, I know there's 15 books left in here according to my spreadsheet. But we'll see. We'll see what comes up. So let's see what's going to be book 1. So book 1 is This Poison Heart. So let me grab that. So the first book will be This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. This is the same author as Sleep Like Death, which is a book that when I unboxed it, I kind of wished I had skipped. So we'll see. I know this is a fairy tale retelling. I don't remember which one. So we're just going to find out what it's about. It says, strange magic blooms behind a poison gate. Breesis has a gift. With a single touch, she can grow plants from tiny seeds to rich blooms. When Breesis' aunt dies and wills her dilapidated estate in rural New York, Bree and her parents hope that surrounded by plants and flowers, she will finally learn to control her gift. But their new home is sinister in ways they never expected. It comes with a mysterious set of instructions, a walled garden filled with the deadliest botanicals in the world, and generations of secrets. There is more to Bree's sudden inheritance than she could have imagined, and she is determined to uncover it. From the best-selling author of Cinderella is Dead comes an enchanting story about a young woman with the power to conquer dark forces descending around her. So maybe it's not a fairy tale retelling. I thought it was, because I know she's the author of Cinderella is Dead, and that's a Cinderella retelling. Sleep Like Death is like a Sleeping Beauty. No. Snow White retelling, something like that, because she like eats a poison apple, I think. But yeah, so we'll see how I get on with this. It might influence me to unhaul Sleep Like Death without reading it, but who knows? I like to give books a chance, because in the last episode we had a standout, and you never know. So first book is This Poison Heart. So now we're going to figure out what book 2 is going to be, and it'll be This Dark Descent. So let me grab that one. Okay, so book 2 will be This Dark Descent by Kaylin Josephson. Owlcrate does have matching copies of the sequel in their shop, so maybe this will be a Silver in the Bone situation where I'll finish it, actually really love it, and end up ordering the matching sequel, but we'll see. So it says, let the race begin. The Russell family is famous throughout Enderlin as breeders of enchanted horses, but their prestige is no match for their rising debts. To save her family's ranch, Makira Russell is left with only one option. Enter the Ilnir, a treacherous cross-country horse race known as much for its high body count as its enticing prize money. To have any chance of success, Makira will have to recruit Ariel Kadir, a talented but unlicensed enchanter who creates golems in place of enchanted animals, and Damien Adair, a dashing young lord in the midst of a fierce succession battle. Both have mysterious reasons of their own to help Makira, as well as their own blood feuds to avenge. Steeped in Jewish folklore, This Dark Descent is a spellbinding new fantasy full of intrigue, romance, and pulse-pounding action. In a world as dangerous as this, will hidden agendas and conflicting desires butcher Makira, Ari, and Damien's chances of winning the Ilnir, or will another writer's dagger? So that actually sounds really interesting. Like, I don't know, there's something about that I'm like, oh, I knew it had to do with horses. Like, that was about all I knew, because like on the inside, I think it's, yeah, on the inside you have like a horse, and then maybe it's not in the back, but oh, and then on the dust jacket, well, on the foil we have horses, on the dust jacket we have a horse. So I knew it was about horses and like some type of like deadly race. So that actually seems really interesting. I think I might actually love this, but we'll see. So now we're going to figure out what book 3 is going to be. Apparently poison is going to be a theme, because I also got This Poison Season. So let me grab that. So the next book is This Poison Season, or The Poison Season, by Mara Rutherford. So we're going to find out what this one is about. Outsiders are always given a choice, the forest or the lake. Either way, they're never heard from again. Lilo has spent her entire life on Indla, coexisting with the bloodthirsty forest and respecting the poisonous lake that protects her island from outsiders who seek to destroy it. But as much as Lilo cares for her community, she struggles to accept that her younger brother will be exiled by his next birthday unless he gains the magic of enchanted song so vital to Indla. When Lilo sees a young outsider on the verge of drowning in the lake, she knows exactly what she's supposed to do. But in a moment, that will change everything. Lilo betrays her family, her best friend, and Indla by making an unthinkable choice. Discovery could lead to devastating consequences for both Lilo and the outsider Jaren. But as they grow closer, Lilo realizes that not all danger comes from beyond the lake, and they can only survive if Lilo is willing to question the very fabric of her society, her people, and herself. So it sounds a lot like a generic YA fantasy. I've been surprised by those before. Some I've been like, it's a little too formulaic for me. So yeah, I guess we'll just see. It seems interesting enough. Nothing really piquing my interest about it right now, but we'll see. Now we're gonna pick book 4. Not very many books left in here. Oh, okay, I've been wanting to read this one for a while, and that is Only a Monster, so let me grab that. So book 4 is Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. I have been wanting to read this for a while. I look at it a lot, so I'm happy that I finally get to read it. So let's just find out what it's about. It should have been the perfect summer. Sent to stay with her late mother's eccentric family in London, 16-year-old Joan is determined to enjoy herself. She loves her nerdy job at the historical Holland House, and when her super cute coworker Nick asks her out on a date, it feels like everything is falling into place. Then a Good Samaritan attempt goes wrong, sending Joan spinning through time, and her life quickly begins to unravel. So is it a time travel book? Could be interesting. Her family isn't just eccentric, they're monsters with terrifying hidden powers. And Nick isn't just a cute boy. He's a legendary monster slayer who'd do anything to bring them down. Oh my god. This is like Witch Hunter and Witch romance, but like monster and monster hunter romance. Oh my goodness. Okay, this just like got so much more interesting to me. And as she battles Nick, Joan is forced to work with the beautiful and ruthless Aaron Oliver, heir to a monster family that hates her own. Oh my god, is this going to be like Romeo and Juliet too? She'll have to embrace her monstrousness if she is to save herself and her family, because in this story, she is not the hero. Oh my god. This sounds so good. I remember, like, when I unboxed this, like, really wanting to read this. So I'm excited I get to read this now. As you can see, it came from my, like, most anticipated, like, dark books, which is, this is that corner of my bookshelf. So yeah, I'm super excited to read this. I think it might be a tie between this and This Dark Descent, depending on what the last 2 books end up being, but I am super excited for some of the books that we've already picked. So now we're going to pick book 5, and you know that if Ruthless Vows? Divine Rivals, one of those. If one of those comes up, then I'll be rating both of them. If it ended up being book 6, I'm putting it back. So let's see if I've just jinxed myself. I'm afraid to look. No, it's Midnight Strikes. Oh, thank God. Thank God. Let me grab that one. I kind of know what this one is about already. Okay, so the next book is Midnight Strikes by Zeba Shinez. Or Shinez, I don't know, I can't pronounce her last name, but who's surprised? This one has a printed hardcover, so it doesn't have a synopsis on it, so I'm gonna have to go look that up, and I will read it off to you guys. Okay, so I've secured my other phone, so I'm gonna read it off. It says, in this explosive fantasy debut with a time loop twist, a provincial girl must work with a roguish prince, or roguish, to stop an attack on the royal family and escape a nightmarish curse that forces them to relive the same night over and over again. So it's a time loop, which I kind of already knew going in, but I'll explain that later. 17-year-old Anais just wants the tonight to end. As an outsider at the kingdom's glittering anniversary ball, she has no desire to rub shoulders with the nation's most eligible and pompous bachelors, especially not the notoriously roguish Prince Leo. But at the stroke of midnight, an explosion rips through the palace, killing everyone in its path, including her. The last thing Anais sees is fire, smoke, chaos, and then she wakes up in her bedroom hours before the ball. No one else remembers the deadly attack or believes her warnings of disaster, not even when it happens again, and again, and again. If she's going to escape this nightmarish time loop, Anais must take control of her own fate and stop the attack before it happens. But the court's gilded surface belies a rotten core, full of restless nobles grabbing at power, discontented commoners itching for a revolution, and even royals who secretly dream of taking the throne. It is up to Anais to untangle these knots of deadly deceptions if she can survive past midnight. So I already kind of knew going in because, oh my God, I forget her name. I will link her YouTube channel down for you below. She has a Owlcrate The Purge, kind of like what I'm doing. So I knew going in this was time loop already because she covered it in one of her episodes. Luckily, she doesn't really talk about spoilers that much, but I knew going in it was a time loop. I don't mind time loops. One of my favorite movies is Groundhog Day and Happy Death Day. So I don't mind a time loop story. It really, really interests me because I like the whole, like, are they going to stop it this time? Is it going to keep happening this time? I like that suspense. So time loops don't frighten me. So I think I'm really going to enjoy that book. So now we're going to pick the 6th and final book for this episode, for the penultimate episode. And then, yeah, let's see what's going to be the final book that we're going to read. And the final book is going to be Star Daughter. So let me grab that. So the final book is Star Daughter by Shweta Thakrar. This is from a failed TBR. I tried to read this, I think, about like a year ago, maybe a year and a half, and I just never got to it, and I just stuck it back on my shelf. It will be getting read this time, but this is the 6th and final book for episode 6, and now we're going to find out what it's about. Okay, it says, if the night sky holds many secrets, it holds Sheetal Mystery's secret the closest. A secret that explains why her hair is the silver of starlight, or why some nights the stars called Sheetal by name. Stars like her mother, who returned to her place in the constellation Pushya many years ago. Since that day, Sheetal has been forced to hide. But as her 17th birthday draws near, the pull from the sky is growing stronger. So strong that Sheetal loses control and a flare of starfire burns her human father, an injury only a full star's blood can heal. Sheetal has no choice but to answer the star song and ascend to the sky, but her celestial family has summoned her for a reason, to act as their human champion in a competition to decide the next ruling house of the heavens. Desperate to save her father, Sheetal agrees, but nothing could have prepared Sheetal to face the star's dark history, or the forces that are working to shut the gate between the realms for good. So, interesting. Nothing really is standing out to me about that book. Maybe I'll like it, maybe not, who knows. That's the whole point of this project, is to find books that I may or may not have picked up otherwise. But yeah, here are the 6 books for the last episode of Owlcrate TBR Veterans. Hopefully I love some of these and we find some new favorites. The last couple episodes have been a little rough, so we'll see. I'm hoping to end this on a high note. So I guess I will see you guys when I start reading these. This month's book is This Poison Heart by Kaylin Bayron. So I am choosing to DNF This Poison Heart by Kaylin Barron. I am only like 18% in, but I am legit like suffering. Like, I don't like the main character. I don't like the way it's written. I don't like all of the like pop culture references. Like, they mentioned like Hamilton and Get Out and like all of these other like things that were very popular like when this was written, and it definitely shows. It is definitely, I mean, it was only published in 2021, but like it definitely shows because around that time like those things were very popular, and I'm not enjoying it at all. You know, I'd normally give it halfway through before DNFing, but I just am not enjoying this at all. There's nothing that's hooking me. I don't care about the plot. I don't care where it's going. She has just been bequeathed a estate from her aunt that she didn't know existed, and there's a bunch of plants, and some of them are poisonous and some of them are not, and I'm just like, I just don't care. I don't. I would rather read a book that is more interesting to me. I knew that this was probably going to be a DNF, so this is one of these that I probably should have hauled without reading, but that always makes me feel really bad because I like to give books a chance. But yeah, I would normally read halfway through. Maybe I'll come back to this like later on in the video, but I can't do this right now. I just can't. So for now, this is going to be a soft DNF. I can't with this book right now. So yeah, that is where we're sitting. So book 1 is a DNF. So that's how we're going. Hopefully these next couple will be better because I'm really interested in them, and I'm just not interested in this right now. So yeah, I'm gonna go read something else now. So I am halfway through this Dark Descent, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Makira and Reed's relationship, I love them. Their banter, their chemistry. There's nothing romantic that's happened yet, but I know it's heading towards that. The same with Damien and Ariel. I really like their interactions. It definitely seems like Damien might be into some darker things than what we've already been told, and he might be leading Ariel like down that same path. So I don't know, but I am really loving this. I am looking at purchasing the sequel to this, which is on Owlcrate's website, so it would be a matching sequel. So hopefully I really like the ending of this and it doesn't ruin it for me, because I've really liked books before and then the ending completely like bombs for me. So I guess we'll see. So I will update you when I am done with this one. So I finished this Dark Descent by Kaylin Josephson. I really enjoyed it, more than I thought I would. I like really vibed with this story. I ended up ordering the matching sequel to it, which is actually probably gonna be either this weekend or Monday when it shows up. Probably won't do an unboxing for it just because it's kind of old, but you'll probably see it when I review it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I cannot wait to see where the sequel is going. So in this, we have 2 couples. One couple is together and one couple is not together. So I'm kind of hoping that the next book, we're going to see some romantic leaning feelings. But yeah, this was a success. And the book is called Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. So this is what it looks like. It's got black sprayed edges, just adding to the gothic feel of this. I am halfway through Only a Monster by Vanessa Lynn. I am liking it so far, but I am wondering where we're going with this story. Because right now, they have traveled back in time, so they're like in the 90s, which kind of is trippy for me, being a 90s baby. But yeah, they're in the 90s now, and like Nick, the monster hunter, is there. I don't know how he's there. I don't know how they're gonna stop the massacre from happening. And I really don't know where we're going with this story, but I am liking it, liking the vibes, liking the banter, and the relationship between our three leads. But yeah, I am liking it so far, just kind of wondering where the plot's going. So I will update you when I have finished and whether or not I'm going to continue this duology. So it is now December, and I am just now picking up the last half of this episode of Owlcrate TBR Veterans. It has been a long couple months. Lots of different reading plans. If you've been keeping up with my channel, then you'll know I've done a bunch of reading projects and things like that. But now we're in the latter days. I was gonna say latter half, but latter days of the year. So I figured I should probably wrap up Owlcrate TBR Veterans episode 6 so I can move on to my Dealer's Choice episode, which I am so excited for. I've got some books that I'm very excited to read for that. So we need to get a move on with this episode so I can finish this before, you know, the end of the year. So I apparently never finished updating you on Only a Monster. From what I recall, I did enjoy the ending. It does leave off on, like, not really a cliffhanger, because I don't think this was originally supposed to be a series. It's now a trilogy. But it did leave off in a very interesting place. So I am interested to see where the story goes. I just don't know when I'm going to pick it back up again. Because like I said, I did like it, but I think at this point, if I was going to read the sequels, I would need to reread this one. Because a lot of stuff has happened in between me finishing this and this point in time right now. So I would definitely have to reread this if I read any further sequels. But yeah, I really liked this one. Not unhauling this one. And this is the book for this month, which the Autumn Reads, I believe, got this right on Instagram. It's Midnight Strikes by Zeba Shanaz, I don't know. It says, our fates are sealed whether we know it or not. And now we're going to move on to Midnight Strikes by Zeba Shanaz. I don't know. All I know is that this is a time loop novel, and I know that this has, like, really annoyed some people, but I don't mind time loops. I kind of like them because I like science fiction, and I like Doctor Who, and that has a lot of time loops and paradoxes and things like that. I also like Happy Death Day, which is kind of what this feels like based on what I know from the synopsis. So yeah, I will update you when I'm halfway through. So I am halfway through Midnight Strikes, and I'm going to DNF. I am just like, I don't understand the magic system. I don't understand how it works. I don't buy the chemistry between Anais. I don't know. She's got an accent, so I don't know how her name is pronounced. And Leopoldo, who's like the prince. I don't buy the chemistry between them. I don't care who's behind blowing up the castle or whatever. I don't. It's not hooking me, and I'm really disappointed because I was really looking forward to this. So DNF, we have 2 DNFs of this video so far. It's not looking great for the penultimate episode of Owlcrate TBR Veterans. Which means the next book on the docket is The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford. This one is pretty short and a little dusty because it's been sitting over there in the corner for a while. So yeah, I'll give this one a try and see how it goes. So I have chosen to DNF The Poison Season by Mara Rutherford. It was fine. It's just kind of like your garden variety YA fantasy, and I don't think I'm really into that anymore. I really read like more adult fantasy or like older YA, because in this, one of the characters is supposed to be 15, but she acts like she's 12. So it reads a lot younger than the characters being like 17, 18. They do not act like they're older teenagers. So yeah, I've chosen to DNF this one. So the book this month is Star Daughter, which looks really pretty, by Sveta Thakpar. I don't know. I probably totally butchered that. Which means we are moving on to our final book in this TBR. And unfortunately, I have already DNF'd this. I started this morning. I listened to about 3 hours of the audiobook and I'm just done. Again, it's your garden variety, YA fantasy. There's a competition that she has to win, and I feel like I've read a lot of those, especially this one came out in 2020, so it definitely feels like it. There were some funny moments. I do love the side characters, but I just don't care about the plot. So yeah, I'm choosing to DNF this one also, which means we have finally come to the end of episode 6, and it did not go well because we've got 4 DNFs. We have one that I'm not sure if I'm going to continue this series. I think I gave it like a 4 or 5. It was fine. I really I enjoyed reading it. And then we have my 5-star. I am definitely going to continue in the series. I bought the sequel, the Owlcrate matching sequel. So I am definitely going to get to this sequel soon, hopefully. So yeah, these are the 6 that we read for episode 6 of TBR Veterans Owlcrate Edition, which means we've come to the end of the official 6 episodes that I was planning on doing. I do have a dealer's choice episode. It's kind of on hold for right now. I've got some other stuff that's currently cooking. So yeah, that was unfortunately a very lackluster end to Owlcrate TBR Veterans. And maybe we'll do this again. I don't know. I'll kind of have to see. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Bye.